Welcome to the Austin Business News Podcast. I'm Tina Cannon, your host and CEO of the Austin LGBT Chamber of Commerce. On today's pod, we're going to talk about local business news and in headlines this week, more land use lawsuits. Texas declares war on THC and Austin's $104 million bet parks over pavement. We'll be back. Welcome back. I'm joined with Colton, Amy, and Fiona. How are we all doing today?
Hey, hello.
Hi.
Coming in off a 3-day weekend.
Yeah,
Glorious.
tired.
Yeah, coming in real tired.
Real tired.
I think I maxed out almost every hour of my time off.
What were you up to?
A little bit of everything. We did the Greek festival, lots of pool parties, hanging out with friends. At one point in between events, I took a couch nap for like a solid 20. God, those are beautiful.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah. A little recharge.
Yeah, just put the old phone back on the charger stand. That's what I needed.
Nice.
It was good. It was a good time.
What about the footy?
The footy.
Yeah, football.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
the footsie.
We had a charity event for our Manchester United Watch Club. We did a casino night. It was a lot of fun. People really got into it.
Heck
We
yeah.
had a craps table. It was a good time. I was teaching everybody how to play craps. It was good. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, our club at least didn't get relegated for those who speak English Premier League
Okay.
football.
Wow.
But we were ranked 15 out of 17.
Gosh.
It's real close. It's real close.
That's nice. I took a 14-hour nap one of those days.
Oh my God. Mine was uneventful. All I did was house chores and got to yell at a man at Texas Roadhouse. So that was exciting.
I feel like I have questions.
Ask away. Never a dull moment where I get to yell at some crusty, old, creepy white man who's being awful to the bartenders. Like
crusty.
I will not hesitate for a second to tell you to leave.
Yeah, because I feel like you got to be the voice of the wait staff, right?
Well,
They
they're
can't say
young.
anything.
Like y'all know those chain restaurants always have super, and like they're shooketh when someone is awful to them. I mean, he came in, he was drinking his Bud Light. He was bitching about not having the basketball game on the TV. We were all watching baseball. We were doing just fine. Also, it's not a sports bar. You can go anywhere to have your 2 Bud Lights. And then he was like, sorry, I made you all mad. And they're like, we're not mad.
Yeah, you don't matter.
And he was like, well, then what's with the attitude? And that's when I chimed in. I was like, she literally has not uttered one word to you the whole time you've sat here because she's cleaning and she's busy.
Yeah, she didn't kiss his ass.
And she didn't meet you with a smile. Like, that doesn't mean she has an attitude. And he was like, what's everyone's? I was like, you know what? Just sign your check and go. Just sign your check and go. You're souring their night. Now you're starting to ruin mine. Like, just leave. Nobody asked you to be here. You can watch this game anywhere.
Yeah, he thought he was coming in there to be entertained and stroked.
I don't know what he thought, but like, there was like pleases and thank yous and yes sirs the whole night to him.
Just wasn't good enough.
And what's with the attitude? Everybody seems blah, 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 blah. I'm like, really? Bud Light at Texas Roadhouse. Okay. I came here for a steak because it's a steakhouse.
Fiona, did you get any fights this weekend?
Not quite fights, but we had a communal gathering on the RV park.
Oh, that's nice.
There's a guy that sells fish.
What? Like to eat?
Yes.
Oh.
So our neighbor Tenny, who's got like his business is selling fish and his family farms it from Alaska and is meant to be this amazing fish. So Tenny's moving back to Alaska. So we wanted to get rid of some of the salmon. So he donated like tons of salmon. And then we had a little salmon cook-off on my RV spot and had all the neighbors hanging out.
That sounds nice.
So if you need a new stray cat, you could find one at Fiona's front lawn.
Jesus.
It's better. The last party we had at mine was a crawfish boil. And I've still got crawfish tails in my...
Oh, God. No.
I mean,
not the
unless
crawfish tails.
Unless the dogs like eat them up. I don't know.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, it was nice to have the rain because then it washed all the dishes.
Oh, this is a fascinating experience. Wow.
Oh, my Lord. All right, let's take a look at some local news headlines. Battle of the Lakefront, Curmudgeon's Council on the Cost of Transparency. In the latest courtroom installment of Austin Eats Itself, 3 players enter the city of Austin, Endeavor Real Estate, and the ever-litigious Save Our Springs Curmudgeons. The battleground and nearly 19 acres of prime real estate on the south shore of Lady Bird Lake, formerly the home of the Austin American Statesman and future site of, what if we just build another overpriced glass box? At issue, did the city council violate the Texas Open Meetings Act by quietly okaying a plan, among other things, that shifts a beloved stretch of the Ann and Roy Butler Trail away from the lake? SOS says yes, claiming the public got shortchanged with only a 1-minute mic limit and not enough transparency. The city and Endeavor say, relax, we follow the rules. Here's a giant mountain of PDFs to prove it. So after about a 3-hour legal theater, Judge Jan Seufer called a timeout and said she will rule later. No decision yet, just billable hours, PowerPoints, and more delays on what could be one of Austin's biggest lakefront developments. In the meantime, the only thing getting developed is more public annoyance. Ooh. Thoughts, feelings, adoration.
Curmudgeons are back at it.
Yeah, yeah, they are.
They're curmudgeoning.
Yeah, curmudgeoning.
Amy's papers are all...
My papers are stapled upside down, and I don't know what's happening.
Well, I had made some notes on mine, and my notes disappeared, but it's okay.
I think this mountain of PDFs needs to be uploaded into ChatGPT just to discover exactly what happened.
So when you go to council, you get like 3 minutes on the mic to say your piece. But if there's like over 100 speakers, and typically what sides will do is they'll stack, and they'll just bring down 100 different speakers to say literally the exact same thing. So to have each one of them have 3 minutes is just ridiculous. So the mayor or the presiding officer over that meeting will say, look, both sides get together, put your groups in camps, and you get 1 minute each, because you just can't be on like repeat and saying the same thing over and over.
You don't want to be in a city council meeting till 4 a.m.?
Been there, done that, man.
Terrible.
It's terrible. So, I mean, they had their chance to say what they wanted to say. This is the same group that just always sues.
What about these plans? What's it going to look like? Is it going to be pretty?
It's actually going to be pretty nice. So right now, you would think that this group would be elated.
Yeah.
Because what it is right now is all concrete. It's all concrete. Building, parking lot, everything from soup to nuts all the way to the shoreline.
Yeah.
The new plan envisions bringing the trail through that space.
Yeah.
Creating green space out in front.
Yeah. Walkable
communities, connectivity across.
Yeah.
And then housing, retail, et cetera, all the things that you would normally see in a bigger development.
I actually loved the original plans, and I think that they've changed a couple times because of
the curmudgeons
SOS.
Keep suing and just delaying everything.
Because I remember the TERS.
Right. Look at you learning some
We've
city
been talking
lingo.
about it for too long.
Yeah, it's a shame that they just, I mean, they didn't get the answer they wanted, so they just sue and stall. But I just don't know how an environmental group is absolutely fine with it just being all 100% concrete right now. We're good with that. We'd rather stall and let that just continue to rain and seep into the lakefront, as opposed to having walkable, livable, bikeable communities over there.
Does seem silly.
It's just, yeah.
But the time limit thing still cracks me up.
Yeah, they only get a minute versus 3
Well,
apiece.
but do you remember the guy, God, it was like a year ago, and he was like, well, I have 7 issues. I have 7 points that I would like to make, and I get 2 minutes, so I'm going to take my 14 minutes. And Watson was like,
That's not how that works.
you get 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm going to take, he's like, and now you have 1:47.
Yeah.
TikTok. Like, that was cool. That was a cool moment.
Yeah. I mean, you can set up a meeting with the council offices. Right. You can write letters.
Write
you can
a
publish
letter.
An op-ed, and then there's plenty of ways to have your voices heard beyond the 1 to 3 minutes that you go to city council. Because really, at that point, it's theater. Like, you should have already been talking to them. If you're holding out and waiting to talk at a council meeting, bro, you've missed the train.
That's not how it happens.
That's
You
theater.
have your before the meeting conversations.
Yeah. The buzzkill bill. Texas bans hemp. Texas lawmakers hit the panic button on hemp. House passed a bill pushed hard by Lieutenant Dan, who basically says if it chills you out, it's got to go. Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta anything banned. Why? Because Texas is banning hemp. They're banning getting high, according to Representative Tom Oliverson, who clearly missed the memo that alcohol is also still legal in this state. This isn't just a regulatory tweak, it's a full-on legislative whiplash. Selling or making hemp products? Well, now that's a felony. A felony, which means slinging CBD gummies could land you a harsher sentence than assault. Good luck with explaining that on a background check. Meanwhile, an $8 billion industry built by farmers, entrepreneurs, and veterans, poof, lit up like a blunt at ACL. Lawmakers are acting like the state is under siege from sleepy stoners, rather than, say, a housing crisis, air traffic controller shortages, or a complete infrastructure collapse. The hemp industry, however, is lawyering up. Patients and veterans are furious, and Dan Patrick is doing his best impressions of a 1980s Just Say No ad. The bill now heads to Governor Abbott's desk. If he signs it, Texas will be the only place where you can open carry an AR-15, but not a gummy bear.
Insane. This is insane.
I'm going to have a BF.
I'm going to have a BF. I'm going to write a letter.
Stupid. I actually already did write a couple letters.
Yeah. Well, same. But it's so sad. You know, even in teeny tiny Lockhart, 2 dispensaries. And you know what? I have friends and even folks I know that in the community who are so much healthier having given up alcohol and then like sticking to CBD alternatives and also like boosting shops that maybe aren't a dispensary, but like the Eighth Wonder CBD margarita mix or like canned drinks,
It's
bottled.
$8 billion industry.
Well, my cousin was just posting yesterday for Memorial Day. He's a veteran, owns a CBD smoke shop in Llano. And
out of business September 1.
How many jobs was it across the state?
It's like 50,000 jobs across the state.
That is insane to me.
And the thing is now, if you're a drug cartel, woohoo!
Yeah.
Texas is open for business.
Great. Perfect.
You know, and you've got veterans who are like, man, I don't want to smoke pot, but I want just enough relief of what this product brings that allows me to sleep and not remember the 29 people I had to shoot down and kill when I was in theater.
It's unbelievably sad. Like what became this thing like, woohoo, yay, it's here, it's finally in Texas. And now it means so much more.
The nanny state.
To not have it. Yeah.
The nanny state by Lieutenant Dan Gobe. Gobe is really what we should be calling him, Lieutenant Governor Danny Gobe, because that's his legal name on his birth certificate.
What?
He changed his name years ago from Danny Gobe to Dan Patrick.
Well, that's not legal in
yeah,
Texas.
so I think we should refer to him by his given birth name.
What do you
on
mean
his birth
Danny
certificate.
Like that was his
You
surname?
No, there's Gobe, Goeb.
Oh my gosh. So
What?
But I'm sure they called him Goob.
Okay, because I do always get him confused with the sports radio pot.
Yeah, different guy.
But yeah, and way more important to me than Lieutenant Governor
Lieutenant
Patrick.
Dan Gobe.
But God, I hate it.
And originally, the industry itself too also started out the session wanting some just regulatory environment around it. So did the alcohol sales places, right? Some like what are the rules? How do you get in? How do you get out? Like how do you? And then it just became this, we're killing it all. Because he calls it a poison, is what he said at a podium. It's a poison.
All around how this is affected, like even TAVC permitting and licensing, right? They took a hit. They took a little bit of a hit in the spirit industry.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Because of CBD alternatives now coming into bars, and it is an additional license. So even though you don't have the same liquor sales, you still pay the same amount for your licensing. Plus, as a business owner, you're paying an additional license to have these alternative drinks, and people are leaving the bar safely.
Yes.
Like, what are we doing?
You can have that AR-15 though.
Other than arguing to pass 10 Commandments law on the Sabbath.
That was the
Wild.
best.
I love
That was the best video.
Tallarico. Genius.
For governor. Tellerico for governor.
Oh, he's fantastic. But anyhow.
I've got a quick THC story for
Please.
you. Okay, so I've been saving this one.
Oh, great.
I've been waiting.
excited.
Oh, yes.
This
That is
happened.
some old weed.
This happened last week, and I thought I'm going to wait for the pod for this one. So, as you know, May, I decided to take the month of May off from drinking alcohol, and so at night I might have had like a little gummy here or there. And a neighbor friend of mine on the RV park gave me a bottle of these weed, hemp, THC, whatever they are, gummies, the things that are now going to be illegal. And they're like 50 milligrams each, which I know is, yes, but I know that's too much. So
You just like lick it and put it back in the
I
bottle?
know some people where that wouldn't even touch the sides,
So-
but that's a lot.
So I cut them into thirds, and like one night I had 1/3, it was fine. And then another night, I had these two pieces, and I'd cut them where one was really small and one was like medium, and I thought, screw it, I'll just have both.
Oh, lovely.
Oh my hell.
You know, I don't hear very well, got a hearing aid, and all of us, like my hearing just amplified. I could hear everything. And I started getting paranoid because I could hear all these noises.
Oh God.
In the RV, and like I've got these water issues, and I went to bed thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna have to sell my RV. I'm gonna have to like my brain was just going down this like anxiety rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Okay. And then like the lights are out, it's dark. I've been trying to go to sleep for 30 minutes, and all of a sudden I literally feel a thump like on the bed next to me. And I sit up, and it literally, like, my brain feels like a bunny rabbit fell from the ceiling.
You have a ghost. You have a ghost
on
in
my
your RV.
bed.
Yeah, the haunted RV
It
park.
was horrible.
That's a ghost.
Well, we won't give that testimony when trying to CBD in Texas, but that
Well, I
is
just had a little bit too much,
man, 50 milligrams. I'd be cutting those into sixths.
yeah.
Sixths. Like that's a lot. I mean, those breezy drinks. Sometimes they're 5 or 10, and then they have the lemonades over here at Cozy that were 20. That is too much for Amy.
Yeah.
20 milligrams,
Yeah.
especially when you're thirsty.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
they're real
Just down
tasty
it.
because you just down it. Yeah, and I was like, my cheeks
We're
are
always
melting off my
thirsty.
face. But I felt great. I did feel real good. I also felt like I didn't want to do anything.
Boo on Danny Gobe, Lieutenant Governor Danny Gobe for making that. And here's the sticky part is like the governor really never thumped hard on this issue. But now it's going to stick to him because he's the one that's going to sign it. It's going to stick to him, and the veterans groups are going to be PO'd, and let's see how the next elections turn out.
Okay, but before we move on real quick, what happens with the lawyering up at this point?
So they'll very likely take it to court and possibly get an injunction. So we'll see. It depends what courts and the process it moves through.
With
but
the economic impact, I feel like that
yeah,
it's a smart move. It's a smart play.
$8 billion industry of a legal taxable industry as opposed to people spending $8 billion
And expanding.
illegally.
And expanding with people like actively trying to get folks with land that is either being used for just like it's inherited, you're not using it, you're not ranching it, nothing's happening. Like, hey, can we plant hemp here?
Yeah.
We want to.
I mean, most of South Texas is turning into like hemp USA.
Yeah. Oh, hate it.
Dumb. Well, Austin just committed $104 million to the, quote, Cap and Stitch project, which, if you're not familiar, is basically urban Botox for I-35. This is our boldest flex yet, reimagining the I-35 six-lane middle finger that has divided East and West Austin for generations. It is part of TxDOT's $4.5 billion I-35 expansion, and this time, we're not just widening the highway, we are capping it, literally. Here's the play. The city will fund to support structures, not the actual parks yet, just the concrete caps over 4 strategic sections of I-35 between Cesar Chavez and Dean Keaton. So between Cesar Chavez and 4th Street, 6th Street to 8th Street, 11th and 12th Street, and East 12th to 14th. These aren't random spots. These are pressure points in Austin's urban artery, places where the highway punched holes through the historically black and brown communities. These new deck plazas will eventually hold parks, trails, and cultural spaces, public zones, built to reconnect people, not just lanes. So, to be clear, this $104 million doesn't buy trees or yoga lawns. It's just the foundation. The slabs that future generations will thank us for. The actual green stuff will need more funding, i.e. grants, philanthropic activities, and probably a few over-designed bond brochures. But this is still the most literal version of progress that we have seen in a while. You want equity? Rebuild what was torn down. You want livability? Bury the highway and build something human on top. Critics, of course, will scream about priorities, but great cities don't wait for perfect timing. They bet on bold ideas, and this one is long overdue. So kudos, Austin. You're not just capping a freeway, you're capping off decades of bad decisions and planting seeds eventually for something better.
Yeah, way overdue.
Way overdue.
I mean,
I'm excited for it.
Kind of still bad timing, but always best to admit your wrongdoings.
Well, it's not often that TxDOT plays nicely with Austin to give us money.
Sure. Yeah.
Our own money back, right? Our tax dollars that we've also fed into TxDOT. So there's a little bit of timing of let's go after it now that TxDOT's willing to play ball.
Right.
And let's build for the future. Let's put a little bit of investment down. We don't do all the 104 in one tranche. It's as it drops. So it's not going to have a terribly big impact on our borrowing capacity as a city. But of course, later down the road, we'll have to put something in place to actually beautify these caps. But it is laying the literal groundwork.
Yeah.
Well, what was interesting, please correct me if I'm wrong, but Mike Siegel, our council member, District 7, who was our speaker at the last luncheon, wasn't all for it, was he?
No, he was a very vocal opponent, saying that we needed to prioritize other things. And there'll never be a time that we don't have to prioritize other things. We prioritize other things every year during the budget cycle. At some point, we have to prioritize, right, erasing these bad decisions. The red line that was I-35 that separated our communities for so long, since the inception of I-35. I think it's time for Austin to grow up, and this is a big way for us to do it and invite people into those spaces and create that connectivity, not only visually, but physically between our city.
Right. I hope it meets those goals, that it is accessible to, literally bridge the divide.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
It's
it
gotta
is
be done
interesting with like the change of the east side that now all of a sudden we're okay with doing this. I kind of hate that. And I know they don't harp on it too much. That's why it's so long overdue. But like I said, it's happening now. This is great. And yes, let's be Austin and not have that weird.
Yeah, it doesn't need to look like the 405 sliding right through our city.
I mean, yeah, it's there's
It's
still
kind of like
there's plenty of cities across Texas where you can feel the red line, and like that, it's just shitty. It's so ugly to like cross the street and feel like you're in a totally different town, and it's still the same town. So I think this is good. And then like to your point, where Mike Siegel is wanting to prioritize these other things, you before we start a new project, let's finish the first one, which was really damaging and furthering that divide between Austin and East Austin.
Yeah.
Agreed. I've long since been a fan of this project, and it's been in the works and in the discussion for several years. So I'm glad council took the initiative to vote for Austin's past and future, and really, all puns intended, bridging that divide.
Yeah.
And every time we
Super
talk
cool.
about this, it's a reminder for me that I need to get an e-bike, because when this construction starts, it's going to take me longer to get to work.
And when it's done,
Yeah.
it'll be neat to be able to
it'll
bike
be
across.
so cool.
You actually be able to bike from downtown over to East Austin without like playing Frogger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine South by with it.
There's
fun?
going to be so many opportunities for sure. Well, one of my favorite segments is Fun Facts with Fiona.
Yay.
Educate us.
Fun. Okay. Do you remember Thor, y'all? Thor. Do you know Thor? Like a mythical character?
Yes.
Yes, the Norse god from 13th century poetic Eddie. Well, I'm inspired by these thunderstorms this week. Thunderstorms rolling through Austin. It's time to remember Thursday is Thor's Day. Thor, the Norse god of thunder, was famously a macho warrior. Think red hair, flying hammer, and goat-pulled chariot. And he's a mythological figure like Zeus. And here's the queer twist. So Thor puts on full bridal drag to trick a giant and reclaim his stolen hammer. So someone stole his hammer and he put on a bridal gown to trick the person to
Okay.
go steal his hammer back. And so he is the gender bending and dramatic. Yes. So next time the sky cracks open, just remember Thor's serving and it's his day.
Okay.
Love.
I like
I
it.
remember the cartoons. So my siblings and I, we had like cartoon books that Mum would buy about Thor. It was very French as well, I think. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought nobody could pick up the hammer except for Thor, though. How did it get stolen? I have so many questions.
Fair.
I mean,
fair.
So is this like the same like superhero Thor? Different.
I don't know. There's so many
It's
different.
kind of based on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it is based on that. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's from the 13th century. So in Icelandic, all this like old tales of old time.
Yeah.
And
like
Thor, put on a bridal gown to go get his hammer back.
I love this
Wow.
on
Well, he's-
Thursday. Okay.
He definitely put on a lot of thunder last night.
Exactly. And every Thursday is Thor's Day. Thursday is named out of Thor's Day.
Oh, every Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh, my
I
hell.
thought this Thursday was like
My
his birthday.
cousin is going to hear it from me. So my cousin, Laura Olson, you've probably seen her on...
On TV. She's one of the
MSNBC.
Olsen twins.
No, she is a politics and religion professor out of Clemson University.
Fun. That's a good topic these days.
She's a genius, and she's coming to Texas. She's going to be at TCU now, so she's been at Clemson for
Cool.
like 2 decades plus, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, her name is Laura, but if she was going to be a boy, my aunt and uncle were going to name her Thor. So I have forever called her Cousin Thor.
That is so sweet.
Yeah, because she is just like the sweetest, kindest woman. It has no real Thor qualities other than like absolutely bashing you with a hammer of knowledge
There you go.
and politics and religion. So,
Works.
yeah. So Thursday,
Yeah.
gonna text her.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah. And you can now associate thunder and lightning with her as
Oh,
well.
absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Well, did you know that our chamber has roughly 475 business members, everyone from Apple to, as we call them, small mom and pop shops, along with all of our allied members. What new member updates do you have for us today, Miss Amy?
Okay, so I have not seen enough of you take advantage of the JP Morgan Chase scholarship through the NGLCC for your LGBTBE.
It's a lot of letters.
I know. So NGLCC is our National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce, which we are an affiliate of. Your LGBTBE is Supplier Diversified Certification to bump you to the top of a list. JP Morgan Chase, the JPMC scholarship, wants to pay for you to become certified through the NGLCC. With that certification, you will get 3 years of membership with the chamber paid for by JP Morgan Chase.
That's what we need. That's what you need. If you ever wanted to be a member, this is the fastest and best way to do it for 3 years.
That's right. So, and your final step of this application process, so you apply for the scholarship, let's say you get awarded, then you have to apply for your certification. Your last step of that certification process is with me, and I will approve or deny your certification. But I feel like I'm a likable person.
Yeah,
so
just
if
don't
I
drink
think
Bud
that
Light with
you're a
her.
likable person with a legitimized business and you identify under the L, the G, the B, or the T, let's do this.
Yeah.
You need to get with me for the link. It's a very long link. I don't think we have it on our website anywhere yet, but we can probably put it in a newsletter, make a post.
Yes, we can.
We can. Or you can just email me, and I will send you the link. Super easy process. And I'll hold your hand the whole way. 3 years of membership.
3 years for the low, low price of nothing.
That's right.
Yes. That's great. Colton, what do you have for local events happening around us?
So many things. So many things. It is Pride Month coming up here real soon, as I'm sure all of you know. So chamber staff here is working very diligently to get tons of events up on the calendar. So keep checking back this week. We will have tons of events, tons of opportunities for you to get engaged. This weekend, Saturday and Sunday, is Barb's BQ's 2nd anniversary.
Yes. And opening Pride Month with them
So cute.
on Sunday the 1st.
Oh, yeah. oh, maybe I should go Sunday instead of Saturday. But it's going to be so much fun. Goodie bag will be screen printing T-shirts for the early birds. We'll be there. Amy, tell us a little bit more about what's going on over there.
Yes, we will be joined by THCAustin. We'll be slinging Lockhart lemonades. So Barbecue is in Lockhart. If you haven't had the privilege to go, I think that they should have gotten #1 in the Texas Monthly barbecue list. But I do love burnt bean. They are in the top 50 across Texas. This is no joke. Chuck, the pitmaster, is a genius. It's a little spin on barbecue. It might taste a little different than what you're used to, but that lime zest hits. So I'll be there with THCAustin, making the Lockhart lemonades that come out of Old Pal, also a member of ours, and Twisted X Brewery will be slinging some pitmaster beers. Did I forget anyone? I think that's all the sponsors. But it's, Sonic the Hedgehog, I think, is going to be roaming around, which is a rumor.
Of course.
Little man in blue. And the screen printed shirts, of course. So the first few folks that turn up, I will caution you, this kind of barbecue joint is a tailgating event. So this line will wrap around the building and down the block to the Gaslight Baker Theater, no doubt. So on Saturday, if you really want to get ribs, brisket, their green spaghetti, oh my God, to die for.
I'm crying right now.
Things start to sell out as that line shrinks. So even though, lunchtime is around noon, when they open, that's when you want to already have your butt in line. Saturday
I like that.
and
I like
Sunday.
the idea of tailgating around it. That sounds like a good time.
Well, it's going to be a party. So I've helped them get some permits for some parking spaces out front. So we're going to expand seating. We're going to have some tents. Like I said, these sponsored beverages are giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a party. This is a birthday party. So come hang out, have some barbecue, listen to some tunes, and check Lockhart out while you're down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, check out our Small Town Big Pride page.
Yes, and hit up some of those members, please.
Yes, a good time had by all. Well, as always, we thank you for joining us. If you want to learn more about becoming a member or chamber events, visit us at AustinLGBTChamber.com. If you want to be a guest or a sponsor, email us at info@AustinLGBTChamber.com. You listen to our show every Tuesday wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks. We'll see you next time.